now to the start line for the 5th final of the season in the 2017 Sideburn Vintage class. The points led by Ferran Mas, but Mas has elected to focus on the Hooligan Championship as he sits within striking distance of that crown. We'll find out next time out whether he can seal the deal here tonight at what is the final round for the Hooligan riders. In the meanwhile, lining up across the front row now, the 104 of John Harrison, the 4th seed through to the grand final. Next to him, Frank Chatterkeen, the winner of the 2nd race in the vintage class. Double race winner Gary Birtwistle goes off the outside of that front row, which is where Mike Hill performed so brilliantly from last time out, and directly on the inside of him is the 140, David J. Webb. The middle row, Hubert Basti, alongside him the 15 Peter Jordan, the 39 Rick Bearcroft, and David Gwyther, the number 0. The number 63 Peter Corrin, the number 101 John Dyer, and Ed Longeren goes off the back row. David Gwyther appealing at the start line there because he seems to have lost power. Restarting the machine now. Just builds up our tension a little bit more ahead of round 5 in the 2017 Sideburn Vintage class. Same problem again for Gwyther. On the outside of the middle row, something's letting him down on that machine, and unless he fixes it with great alacrity, it looks as though we may have to go without him. Let's see what happens with David Gwyther on the outside of that middle row. 3rd time of asking for the number 0, and he's away this time. Gary Birtwistle has made a sensational start, and the rider who went unbeaten through the heat stages, David Webb, has dropped to 4th. Coming around the outside now for P3, further back down the order. Important to watch the progress of Hubert Basti in terms of the championship overall and his pursuit of a top 3 ranking in this 2017 series. Well, David Webb has been released by coming through back into the top 3 now. Can he gain ground on the 2 leaders? Gary Birtwistle, winner in each of the last 3 rounds, sits out in front here in Kings Lynn. 2nd place is with the number 5 Frank Chatterkeen, making his first appearance with the DTRA in 2017. David J. Webb in 3rd. Was undoubtedly the fastest of the riders in the heat stages, but he's missed the start in the final, and that could be crucial because he has a pace advantage, but I'm not sure it's enough to gain on Frank Chatterkeen. Gary Birtwistle's machine is smoking again, and last time it did that, he dropped well back, and he seems to be lacking pace in a straight line at the moment. He's holding the inside line, which is certainly going to make things difficult for Frank Chatterkeen behind him, but Chatterkeen at this stage of the race is clearly faster. Looks to the outside in 1 and 2. He's realised that Gary Birtwistle is a wounded animal. And again, he is significantly faster down the back straight, on the outside of Gary Birtwistle. Can he get round him though? Birtwistle is holding the line brilliantly. David J. Webb is also within striking distance. There are races going on further down the order. Harrison in 4th position, 5th and 6th with a battle as well, but you can't take your eyes off the leader's race. Frank Chatterkeen's front wheel rubs the back wheel of Gary Birtwistle going around the top turn, and Chatterkeen, now that he's shown he's there, is going to do the same again on the pit's bend. The back markers present an opportunity. They go either side. Chatterkeen on the outside line, Birtwistle on the inside. Chatterkeen loses his footing momentarily. That's given Birtwistle the advantage as they go into the final lap. David J. Webb has dropped back. Disappointing for him. He's been absolutely outstanding during the heats. Birtwistle goes around the outside of another back marker. Chatterkeen is within touching distance. Can he get there on the final 2 turns? Chatterkeen right peg to the inside line, but Gary Birtwistle holds on. Excellent racing between the top 3. Gary Birtwistle the winner, Frank Chatterkeen 2nd, David J. Webb in 3rd. And we'll have to wait for the official result to find out where Hubert Basti was on the number 2 bike. But he certainly found himself outside of the podium positions. Gary Birtwistle is your new championship leader in the 2017 Sideburn Vintage class. 4 round wins in succession, holding off David J. Webb there, who will also find himself moving up through the standings, so certainly above Hubert Basti, whom he beat in that one, the 5th round of the season in the 2017 Sideburn Vintage class.